So I think I need to take some time and practice some landings. I've been working on practicing landings, and that's take off and fly around a bit and then try to land. Because, just going from a straight up, straight down that's all fine and dandy, but it's not anything quite like real landings. You have to go somewhere a little bit. And as you can see, my last attempt has resulted in another crash. But, and of course it's daylight now, so I've been working at this all night. But I noticed something. There's something over there. You can barely see it in the distance, but we can barely see it, so we're going to take old Sidlong Kerman here. And I think Sidlong needs to do an EVA and have a walk over there to see just exactly what kind of craziness we've got going on here. Because it's almost like there's something interfering with the ship operation. And perhaps it's the same thing that some of the technicians have been complaining have been interfering with the performance of their computers and design systems, which might explain the results of Jebediah's Duna mission. And so, Sidlong is going to walk over. Let's see if we can get him to jog. Okay, he looks silly as all get out jogging, but I don't think his pack will get him off the ground here. No. He's just going to have to jog. And so we're going to jog over there to whatever this is in the distance and see if we can find out what's going on. And so Sidlong has been dutifully jogging away towards this mysterious structure or something, whatever it is, that has no business being on the Kerbal Space Center grounds. He's been busily at it for almost 8 minutes now. It's a fair piece out, but it's still on Kerbal Space Center grounds. So we're going to find out what this is. And is it the source of mysterious computer interference that has been afflicting the design computers? We'll see. And apparently the flight computers of the lander. And as we approach the mysterious object, the first thing we notice is that it appears to be floating above the ground. With some mysterious carvings on it. And apparently it's high enough off the ground for Sidlong to walk directly underneath of it. But what do we have here? Where did this thing come from? Who put it here? What is it? What is it doing? And more importantly, why isn't it paying rent? Strange. We'll have to get the science teams on this. In the meantime, Sidlong will have to trek back to his capsule and report his news. And, of course, to make this easier, we'll just simply end the flight. and the lander will end that flight as well. All right. Okay, so we've got something out there that has no reason to be there. We don't know what it is. It's probably responsible for a lot of difficulties we've had. One of the things that we needed to be doing, though, was to get a functioning space dock in orbit. So let's save that and let's just start up a new ship and build something that can function as a space dock. All right. Now, where is those space dock parts? All right. Space dock identifier. All right. And now just a little bit of standard basic ship design to get into orbit. Because the thing about ships for interplanetary flight is that we want to be able to build the ships in orbit. This way they don't have to burn up huge amounts of their fuel just getting into orbit. So, work on that. Okay. That looks like it ought to do a pretty good job of lifting the main body up there, the space dock part. All right, let's try that again. There. Okay, good. And now balance that out with a strut. separator motors. Okay. Very good. They go at staging. All right. Okay. This looks good. And we'll go ahead and pop this on here. Since it's not going to be having anything else on the end of it like I originally thought. All right. All right. It doesn't look like a space station, I'll grant you, but it will serve the function if we can get it into orbit. And I think that's going to be it for right now. Meanwhile, the science teams and whatnot are going over Sidlong's report about that strange object on the grounds. And we're figuring out what to do about all of that. Meanwhile, Spacedock 1 needs to go into orbit. Okay. And Sidlong is apparently done giving his reports because he's piloting the mission. All right. So, let's just get this done. Go for a nice 100-kilometer orbit. Nothing fancy. Start our turn here. I can see there's another design flaw. We have RCS fuel but no thrusters, once again. One of these days I need to make a design checklist. God, I didn't realize the apoapsis had gone so freaking high. 300 kilometers. Can you say waste of fuel? But, given that, at the very least, our burn for orbit will be an easy one. Let's see. We start burning now. We'll probably push the apoapsis up. So we just get up there. And bring the periapsis up to 100, and then go around to it, bring the apoapsis back down. Almost there. 60 seconds to go. And we burn. Bring this up to 100 positive. Almost there. Okay, good. Now we've got this crazy elliptical orbit, but that's fine. We're going to get down here and circularize it as much as we can so that it's an easy orbit to rendezvous with. Because once the space dock is in position, then we need to get lifting vehicles, get a lifting vehicle designed that can lift appreciable amounts of parts and stuff into orbit and get within 10 kilometers of it rendezvous to deliver those parts. All right, swing around to periapsis. And swing around to a retrograde position and do a circularization burn. Okay. The ship is not under acceleration. About 30 seconds or so to go. Fine-tune the position. 19. 102 by 95. All right, time to apoapsis is closing, so we just get there. Swing around, bring the periapsis up just a little bit. Come on. There. 102 by 104. I can live with that. Much better. Certainly a lot better than that first flight. Very good. And it's reasonably equatorial. Inclination is actually pretty close to 0. So it's actually very equatorial. All right, so we have our space dock in place. Now, we need to see about a vehicle to launch payloads up to it. But before we do anything, let's take this vehicle and put those RCS thrusters on it that should have been on it to begin with. There. It's probably more than it needs, but it'll give it some more control for future flights. All right, now take our space dock part off. Add the cargo module. All right, fine. You want to play hard to get, be difficult? All right. Now we've got our ship and situation here. Wait a minute. I'm going to go ahead and assume that we can get away with 1 tank of RCS fuel. And let's put on 5 tons of spare parts. And give it a test flight, see if we can get the 5-ton module up, and if that works, we'll add another one on it, see if we can get 10 tons up there.